no clickbait. I actually have good news. For a lot of people, you've been seeing me crying and complaining. My views are dropping. YouTube has shadow banned me. I still think that they actually did shadow ban me. For a kill switch to happen immediately, for all my views to drop, where the only videos are now being shown to just subscribers, and I've shown you so many examples. It's been 3 weeks now of me showing you the analytics of all the videos that's tanking, proof that the subscriptions to not subscriptions ratio is so rigged, into 3 days passing and then recalibrations happening, and now I think I'm getting my Christmas wish. Look at it. You see the far right? This is a lifetime graph of, viewership. And on December 13th, everything fucking just crashed. It was like overnight, instantly. And there's nothing that suggests, right? There's nothing that suggests that I was doing something bad. This is an impression graph now. I was doing perfectly fine. Everything was stable. Then YouTube was like, fuck you in specific on the most peak earning month in December. And by the way, ad revenue, the highest in December. When it comes January, everyone's revenue drops. You know why? Because obviously it's the Christmas holidays. Anytime you have these pagan holidays, that's all about, it's a conspiracy to make you, the consumers, to start buying more and more to stimulate the economy but the narrative is, do it for family, do it for friendships, the gift, the holiday seasons. It's all bullshit. Valentine's, anytime the big, holidays coming up, Cyber Monday, Boxing Day, whatnot, advertisers go out of their way, not out of their way, it's in their best interest to basically increase the amount of advertisements being sent out. Content creators obviously get more ad revenue in that case. And bro, I missed out all of fucking December. Feels fucking bad. Now, you could say in the same vein, two sides of the same coin, that, hey, you, at the very least, tanked in the highest profitable month. So that even though the gains aren't the highest, at least your bottom, the ceiling, the floor wasn't as bad. I guess that logic kind of makes sense, but I still fucking tanked regardless. Here's some other graphs. Let's look at the audience tab. You see that purple line? I always show you guys the returning versus the new viewers in the analytics, right? Look at it. Everything was perfectly fine. In 3-month intervals, you can clearly see there's 3-month intervals where YouTube lifts the floodgates. Just like how they had a kill switch where they killed my fucking channel. Again, which happened here too, by the way. I talked to this about in the performance review videos, right? I talk about this shit in the performance review videos that it already happened to me back in February. So I was very used to this. But in 3-month intervals, it always spikes up, and just as high as, as fast overnight that these spikes happen. And by the way, these spikes are not the result of popular trending shows, a single series popping off. No, channel wide, the impressions go out. Right now, there's no way you can say that winter 2025 is saving me. There's not a single goddamn new anime that's been released. This is all just the YouTube algorithm bullshit. And I'm here to show you that I'm not schizo. I have data to suggest that what's happening, what I've been saying, the impressions going down, the viewers just not, realizing that I even uploaded. Look at the returning viewers now going back up. Now, fingers crossed that this is a good sign and everything is spiking back up to where it should be. And I'm expecting, here's my prediction. My prediction is that once January hits, in the next 1 to 2 weeks, I believe another spike will happen. Yep. Not because of a single video though. Not because of a single topic though. Nope. It's not one specific video. It's never one specific video. I've given you examples time after time that it's channel-wide impressions going up. And when 2 to 3 weeks passes, I believe another spike will happen and will be projected to hit around 1.5 to 1.8 mil viewerships per month on this channel for all of January for winter 2025. And it's going to happen again. 3-month intervals, you prove to YouTube that you can, do well enough to retain that audience that's you've been given to. And then, this pattern keeps fucking happening. But that's pretty much it. I guess maybe I could go into some of the other videos. For example, Railgun right now, this is how it should be always performing. Right now, if you look at the expected range versus what's happening right now, it looks way higher, right? But the typical in this period has been, calibrated to be very low because of, it's expecting the shadow band viewership numbers. I believe that every video moving forward will now be able to, reach an audience that's a more 50-50 split. This video is a bit too early of upload, so you don't really see the subs to not sub ratio that I always show you. But let's compare something else, right? Let's compare something else like the most recent Steins Gate, or even like the Apothecary Diaries episode. So far, every time I upload, the audience split, yeah, it's way better. It's not quite 50-50, but it used to be 80-20, 70-30, 75-25. You know what I'm talking about? I've shown you plenty of times. Go back into the Shadowban videos, right? Things are recalibrating more and more. This is really good sign, right? And I've shown you time after time of so many different examples of videos that suddenly start to recalibrate. For example, what do I mean by the recalibration? Look at this shit. After upload, this kind of graph behavior never happens. It happens very rarely. And it happens usually when you're trying a new type of content and algorithm wants to kind of test your content with like a different audience. And it'll happen for a couple of videos as an exception. This behavior is the norm when I'm shadow banned. And I've shown you in the previous video, I literally document everything. I have a video that shows you that after 3 days, a spike happens. Look at the browse features here, right? I know it's not as profound, but notice that uptick of the blue when it should be going flat. This has been happening for a lot of the high performing videos. Now, Arifureta won't really have that kind of effect because it's not, as high performing. So the recalibration is not as drastic. You can see definitely that there's a change in the slope here, but it's not as, as exaggerated. That's why I try to show you, the examples where it's like more high performing. For example, let's look at the old Steins Gate video too, right? Look at this shit. See, this is the recalibration period. You can look at the browse features here that spikes like this don't just fucking happen. Usually it tapers off if it's supposed to be, the relative normal life cycle. But every video that should be high performing during the shadow ban after 3 days, it recalibrates. And that's why I've been saying recalibration this, recalibration that. It's an informal, I guess terminology that I'm using to kind of describe this behavior because see again, after 3 days, every fucking video has been performing like this. Look at this right side here, the browse feature. See, the recommendations all of a sudden is being shot out. Let's see some other examples. Let's look at even Grieving Souls, right? Or Grieving Souls are even the richest fucking one too. Look at this shit. See, the recalibration happened right here. When did this video get uploaded? December 24th. And roughly around 3 days, boom, you get that uptick in that viewership again. The audience split is now, this is how it should look like, 50-50 split, right? Let's look at this Kaguya-sama video. It's not Kaguya-sama, this is the chart video. See, look at that uptick happening again. Listen, I am trying to prove to you right now that I'm not making excuses. I'm not like, if I was actually doing bad as a content creator, then I would take the L and say there is a pattern of behavior of declining viewership where people are no longer interested in my content. And that should be reflected by a statistical, like an actual like negative slope. But notice that I've constantly been able to live up to YouTube's new expectations and have done well. And then immediately out of fucking nowhere, look at this bullshit. How does that make any sense? You know what I mean? Like I've done everything to meet performance results and it still fucks me. But after 2 to 3 weeks, it seems that we have been recalibrated. Let's look at the Blue Lock example. The Blue Lock examples are even more profound, straight up. Because Blue Lock is tourist content. In the shadow ban, the recalibration terminology that I use, I will show you again. Let's look at these couple of videos that was before Shadowban, because remember, before December 13th, everything was fine. After the 13th and onwards, let's look at the difference in the graph behavior. And it's going to be even more exaggerated because Blue Lock is tourist content, meaning if you look at the audience, this is how it should be always. Not sub to sub being heavily favored in this ratio. Look at this shit too, right? The returning graph this is the exact life cycle of these graphs. See this? There's no recalibration. Immediately it spikes up, then it tapers down. This is how every video on YouTube pretty much performs. Unless again, sometimes YouTube tries to send it out to a random audience to test its waters. Another example, before the shadow ban, same graph tapering off. Look at the audience, 70-30 split, and no, triggers, no, spikes in the returning viewers or the new viewers afterwards, after 3 days of upload. Now, this is where we get shadow banned. After this, look at this shit. Tapers down, uploaded on the 16th. From the 19th onwards, boom. See how it's even more exaggerated in tourist content? If you look at the audience tab, this behavior, again, should never happen. This is the natural life cycle of all fucking videos. This is an exception that happens sometimes if the algorithm is testing your content. But when you're shadow banned, it happens like fucking clockwork so consistently. And now it's been recalibrated. These are the numbers it should be. And the most recent video, the borrow video, look at this shit. After 3 days of upload, December 23rd, December 26th, look at that uptick. And the same recalibration is happening. You don't get to see the 26 data because it's still processing. This video is a bit too new to show, you know, the uptick in this behavior I'm trying to show you. Because like this is normal. And then this is what I'm trying to show you. After 3 days, it always fucking happens. And right now, it's slowly recalibrating to reach that 70-30 split. And this video also, you know, will do that same exact behavior. So like, this is just, again, more evidence that I am not complaining for the sake of complaining. I don't understand the YouTube analytics. Nobody knows. No, I understand the analytics, but I don't really understand the algorithm. Because the algorithm is such a mysterious thing that's not documented. And my winning formula is focus in the community. Focus on community over tourist content. Understand who your viewer base is. Understand what they want and give them that content. And if you're able to keep growing like this and compound over months, 2 months, 3 months, or whatever, the algorithm gods lift the floodgates as you see time after time after time. And this is not, you know, one exception happening. This is literally like our 7th iteration of this boost happening. You guys can't really see the difference in values here because it's so insignificant compared to, you know, the views over here. But to a lesser degree, this and this area has already, like this into this was already a 2x boost. And then this boost happened. 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 And I believe again in a week or two, another boost will happen. And no, this is not due to fucking trends. Trends don't matter. Genuinely, you're seeing a coincidence and thinking correlation equals causation, that every 3 months, new animes show up and you start spiking. Fuck no. There's not been a single video that heavily carried by itself. It's channel-wide, all videos, old and new, starts to get shot out as the algorithm literally lifts a fucking kill switch on your content and says, all right, you're in this next phase of the game now. Let's see how well you can maintain this audience. And if you can prove it for a long enough time in an arbitrary value, which seems to be 3 months for me, this is the pattern of behavior I've been seeing. This is supposed to be like a more like an informal, you know, update. I was going to do this in the performance review, but just because I got excited at this, you know, upward trajectory, you know, of things seemingly going back to form. I'm just doing a little teaser, but next Tuesday, when the next performance review hits, we'll have more content that's going to be uploaded after the shadow ban to show you exactly how different the behavior is with the life cycle of videos. Because like this behavior will no longer happen, and immediately upon upload, the subs to not sub ratio will be closer to 50-50 rather than being heavily skewed to 80-20, where my people don't even get the fucking recommendations or notifications.